right, everyone, welcome back to Tech News Now. Buckle up, because we're going to unpack something huge in the tech world. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. We're talking AI. But not just your average AI news. This is something colossal.
You're spot on. This isn't just another algorithm update. We're talking about a potential game changer in the AI landscape. A project so ambitious it almost sounds like science fiction.
And the name of this mysterious project, Stargate. I mean, come on. That name alone has got to spark some curiosity, right? So what's the deal with Stargate?
Well, imagine this. OpenAI, the brains behind ChatGPT, joins forces with Oracle, the database giant, throws in a sprinkle of Softbank, one of the biggest investment firms on the planet, and tops it off with an Emirati sovereign wealth fund, basically a massive investment pool controlled by the government of the United Arab Emirates. This is a global alliance of tech titans coming together for something truly extraordinary.
Wow, that's a lot of big names in one room. But what are they actually aiming for with all this combined brain power? And more importantly, why should our listeners care?
Excellent question. The goal here is to construct a network of cutting-edge data centers specifically designed to push the boundaries of AI development. Think of it as building a superhighway for artificial intelligence, paving the way for more powerful and sophisticated AI applications than we've ever seen before.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture, but let's talk about the elephant in the room, the funding. I heard rumors about a budget that would make even the most extravagant tech enthusiast blush.
The rumors are true. We're talking about a potential investment of $500 billion. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire GDP of many countries. They've already announced an initial $100 billion ready to roll, with the rest spread out over the next 4 years.
$500 billion. That's an astronomical amount of money. What could possibly justify such a massive investment? Where is all that money going?
Well, first of all, building a network of state-of-the-art data centers isn't cheap. These facilities require cutting-edge hardware, massive amounts of energy, and highly specialized personnel. Plus, a huge chunk of that funding will go towards research and development, pushing the boundaries of AI capabilities across a wide range of fields.
So it's not just about building impressive structures. It's about fueling the research that will actually make this AI revolution happen. That makes sense. But let's bring this back down to earth for a second. What does this mean for the average person?
That's the exciting part. Stargate has the potential to create a ripple effect throughout the economy. They're projecting the creation of 100,000 new jobs. And that's not even counting the indirect jobs that will pop up around these new centers. We're talking about a wave of opportunities in construction engineering, software development, and more.
So this isn't just a tech story. It's an economic story, too.
Yeah.
And it's all kicking off right here in the U.S., right?
Right. Oracle CTO Larry Ellison has confirmed that construction on the first data center is already underway in Texas. They're aiming to build a network of these centers across the U.S., creating hubs of innovation and technological advancement.
Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, right?
Right.
But of course, no major tech development comes without a little bit of drama. And Stargate is no exception. I have to ask about the elephant, or maybe we should say X. In the room, Elon Musk.
Ah, yes. The ever-vocal Elon Musk. He hasn't exactly been shy about expressing his doubts about Stargate, publicly claiming they don't have the financial backing they say they do. He's even gone so far as to suggest that SoftBank's contribution is significantly less than what's been reported.
Of course he did. It wouldn't be a tech news day without a little Elon Musk-flavored controversy, would it? But there's probably more to this skepticism than meets the eye, right?
There's definitely some history there. Musk co-founded OpenAI back in the day, but later parted ways with the company to pursue his own ventures. He's also got his own ambitious AI projects in the works. It wouldn't be the tech world without a little friendly competition, right? And speaking of competition, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman didn't just let Musk's comments slide. He fired back with an invitation for Musk to visit the Texas site himself, emphasizing the project's potential national significance.
So a little bit of a public spat between two tech titans. Sounds like something straight out of a reality TV show. But amidst all this drama, there's a crucial question we haven't touched on yet: energy consumption. These data centers are going to be massive, and we all know how much power those things can guzzle. What's the plan for keeping these centers running without causing a blackout?
That's a critical question, and one that deserves more attention than it often gets. Data centers are notorious energy hogs, and as we scale up AI development, the demand for energy is only going to skyrocket.
So are we talking about a potential environmental disaster in the making? Or are they planning to power these centers with renewable energy sources?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The good news is that there's a growing awareness of the need for sustainable data centers. Companies are increasingly looking to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power to reduce their carbon footprint.
That's encouraging to hear. But let's be realistic. Transitioning to fully renewable energy is a massive undertaking. It requires significant investment infrastructure changes and often navigating complex regulations. So are there any specific details about how Stargate plans to tackle this challenge?
Details are still a bit scarce at this point, but the sheer scale of this project suggests that energy consumption will be a top priority. It wouldn't make sense to invest $500 billion in cutting-edge technology, only to cripple it with unsustainable energy sources.
That's true. It would be like building a Ferrari and then fueling it with the cheapest, dirtiest gas you could find. Not exactly a recipe for optimal performance, is it? But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about another controversial aspect of this whole Stargate saga, the potential involvement of the government.
Ah, yes, the political dimension of the story. We can't forget about former President Trump's pledge to expedite Stargate's development, using emergency declarations. That certainly added another layer of complexity to the situation.
Emergency declaration. That sounds a bit drastic, doesn't it? What's the rationale behind that?
Well, from Trump's perspective, this was about ensuring that the U.S. remains a global leader in AI technology. He argued that streamlining the regulatory process was essential to keep pace with other countries that are investing heavily in AI development.
So it's a strategic move, a way of saying, hey, we're not going to let bureaucracy slow us down in this race for technological dominance. But what about the potential downsides of bypassing regulations? Doesn't that raise concerns about environmental safeguards and potential overreach?
Those concerns are definitely valid. Critics argue that using emergency declarations to expedite development could lead to cutting corners on environmental protections and silencing dissenting voices. They worry that the focus on speed could overshadow crucial considerations about responsible and ethical AI development.
It seems like we're caught in a classic tug-of-war between progress and precaution. On one hand, the potential benefits of advancing AI are immense. But on the other hand, we don't want to rush into something without carefully considering the potential consequences.
Exactly. And this is where the need for informed public discussion becomes so crucial. We need to weigh the potential benefits against the risks, and that requires open and transparent dialogue involving experts, policymakers, and the public.
That's a great point. It's not just about blindly embracing or rejecting new technologies. It's about engaging in thoughtful, nuanced conversations that help us navigate the complexities of these advancements. But let's be honest, sometimes these conversations can get pretty heated, especially when you factor in the personalities involved. We've got Musk throwing shade, Allman firing back, and Trump throwing emergency declarations around like confetti. It's enough to make your head spin.
It certainly makes for an entertaining news cycle, that's for sure. But beyond the drama and the headlines, there are some really important questions we need to be asking ourselves. What kind of future are we building with these powerful technologies? What are the ethical implications of AI development? And how can we ensure that these advancements benefit all of humanity, not just the select few?
Those are some heavy questions. But they're the ones we need to be grappling with if we want to navigate this technological revolution responsibly. And I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg. As AI continues to evolve, we're going to see even more complex ethical and societal dilemmas emerge. It's like we're standing at a crossroads, with one path leading to a future filled with incredible possibilities, and the other veering into uncharted territory with potential pitfalls lurking around every corner.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure we're choosing the right path? Where do we even begin to unpack all of this?
That's the challenge, isn't it? There's no easy answer, no magic formula. But I think a good starting point is recognizing that technology is not inherently good or bad. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for a variety of purposes, both beneficial and harmful.
So it's not about demonizing AI or blindly embracing it. It's about understanding its potential and making conscious choices about how we develop and use it. But let's be honest, a lot of this stuff can feel pretty abstract and overwhelming, especially for people who aren't immersed in the tech world every day. How can the average person make sense of all this and make your voices heard?
You're absolutely right. It's easy to feel like these decisions are being made in some far-off tech bubble that has nothing to do with our daily lives. But the truth is, AI is already impacting us in countless ways, from the algorithms that curate our social media feeds to the voice assistants we use to set our alarms. And as AI becomes more sophisticated, its influence on our lives will only grow.
So what you're saying is that we can't afford to be passive observers in this technological revolution. We need to be actively engaged, asking questions, voicing our concerns, and holding those in power accountable. But how do we do that in a way that's actually effective? I mean, it's not like we can all just show up at Elon Musk's doorstep and demand answers, right?
Maybe not Elon Musk's doorstep, but there are plenty of other ways to make our voices heard. Supporting organizations that are advocating for responsible AI development is a great place to start. Engaging in conversations about these issues with our friends, families, and communities is also crucial. The more we talk about these things, the more we normalize these conversations and bring them into the mainstream.
It's like that old saying, knowledge is power. The more informed we are about the potential benefits and risks of AI, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape. And speaking of knowledge, I think it's time to bring this back to our wonderful listeners. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Exactly. We'd love to hear your perspectives. Are you excited about the potential of Stargate? Do you share some of the concerns we've discussed? Hop onto social media, tag us in your posts, and let's keep this conversation going.
Because ultimately, the future of AI isn't something that's happening to us. It's something we're all actively shaping, whether we realize it or not. So let's make it a future worth getting excited about, one that's grounded in ethical principles and benefits all of humanity. And on that note, we'll sign off for today.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay engaged.
This is Tech News Now, signing off.